Bernie sent this out shortly, about a half hour ago. And he says, here's what this campaign is going to talk about. He says, we're going to take on the biggest challenges facing our country. Number one, income and wealth inequality. In the United States today, we have the most unequal wealth and income distribution of any major country on earth, worse than at any time since the 1920s. This is an economy that must be changed in fundamental ways. Number two, jobs and income. In my view, Bernie says, we need a massive federal jobs program which puts millions of our people back to work. We must end our disastrous trade policies. We need to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, and we have to fight for pay equity for women. Campaign finance reform, number three. As a result, Bernie writes, of the Citizens United Supreme Court decision, American democracy is being undermined by the ability of the Koch brothers and other billionaire families. These wealthy contributors can literally buy politicians and elections by spending hundreds of millions of dollars in support of the candidates of their choice. We need to overturn Citizens United and move toward public funding of elections so that all candidates can run for office without being beholden to the wealthy and powerful. Number four, climate change. Climate change is real, caused by human activity and already devastating our nation and our planet. By the way, did you see that we may have the first named hurricane of the season? There's a tropical storm forming out in the Atlantic. And, in a couple of weeks, it might be here. Not good. Anyhow, back to Bernie. Climate change is real. The United States must lead the world in combating climate change and transforming our energy system away from fossil fuels and toward energy efficiency and sustainability. These are not numbered, so I'm trying to keep track of these in my head. Is this number 5, I think? College affordability. Every person in this country who has the desire and ability should be able to get all the education they need, regardless of the income of their family. This is not a radical idea. In Germany, Scandinavia, and many other countries, higher education is either free or very inexpensive. We must do the same. Healthcare. Shamefully, the United States remains the only major country on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people. The United States must move toward a Medicare for all single-payer system. Health care is a right, not a privilege. Poverty. The United States has more people living in poverty than at almost any time in the modern history of our country. I believe, Senator Sanders says, that in a democratic, civilized society, none of our people should be hungry or living in destitution. We need to expand Social Security, not cut it. We need to increase funding for nutrition programs, not cut them. Take that, Paul Ryan. Tax reform. We need real tax reform, which makes the rich and profitable corporations begin to pay their fair share of taxes. We need a tax system which is fair and progressive. Children should not go hungry in this country while profitable corporations and the wealthy avoid their tax responsibilities by stashing their money in the Cayman Islands. And then he says, and these are just some of the issues we will be dealing with. I would submit to you that every one of the things that I just read to you has majority support both among Democrats and Republicans and independents. I bet virtually, I've got the poll here, I can look it up, but I've seen nothing so far on this list that doesn't poll at over 50% with the American people. How can you call Bernie a leftist when he's saying what the majority of Americans want? Now, he may not be saying what the CEOs of ABC, CBS, and NBC want, or the owners of those networks. He may not be saying what the owners of the big radio stations and radio networks want. He may not be saying what the multimillionaires on TV who present themselves as commentators and news folks, but really are there for infotainment. He may not be saying what they want. Because after all, you get a gig with one of the big networks and you're making millions of dollars a year, you're now in the 1%, right? But he's saying what most Americans want. He's saying what the 99% of us want in this country. And this is just solid, stable, straightforward stuff